Hey, what's guys, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to continue on our series with best SDS rotary hammers. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about this M18 Brushless 1-inch SDS Plus rotary hammer from Milwaukee Tool Company. Even though this is M18 and brushless, this is not a fuel model, okay? Or a fuel lineup, or let's say. So Milwaukee has a lot of M18 tools. They have a few SDS rotary hammers, and this is the one we have today. This one does have AVS, and it is obviously a D-handle style. So if you want to know more about this tool and see how it performs stacked up against other tools we've tested so far, stick with us. So this right here is the Milwaukee M18 Brushless 1-inch SDS D-handle style rotary hammer drill. The model number on this is 2613-20. It features power to deliver more than corded power and productivity without the hassle of cords. This hammer drill can deliver or drill 3/8 inch by 2-inch holes faster than other corded D-handle rotary hammer drills. It has a brushless motor that delivers up to 1.95 foot-pounds of impact energy, 1217 RPM and 4580 BPM. The inline D-handle style allows access in tight spaces and provides superior balance and ergonomics for downwards drilling. It has AVS, which is Anti-Vibration System, which minimizes impact to the user for maximum comfort. It has a lightweight design that reduces user fatigue, and when it is paired with the M18 XC5.0 battery, it weighs a total of 6.9 pounds. This 1-inch SDS rotary hammer drill can drill up to 100 3/8 by 2-inch holes per charge with the 5-amp-hour battery, and it is capable with the M12 HAMMERVAC dust extractor. The model number on that one is 2509-22. This one is obviously a part of the M18 lineup and is backed by Milwaukee's 5-year warranty. So this right here is obviously the left-hand part of the tool, and let's go ahead by starting at the front. So this right here is the SDS Plus chuck. You know, it's twist, insert, lock or whatnot, or insert, twist, lock, SDS, right? That's pretty much how that works. You want to pull the bit out, you just pull back on the collar, pull the bit out, no problem. This right here is the handle, okay? So this handle right here is completely plastic, and don't get me wrong, it's power tool plastic, so it's probably going to be fine. The way it cinches or connects to the rotary hammer is this metal ring, as almost all rotary hammer handles do nowadays. You pretty much twist the handle, right? Loosen it, it unlocks the ring, and then you can pull it out. And then to put it exactly where you want it, you put it where you want it, you cinch down on the handle, and it cinches this metal ring tight on this collar, and that's how it pretty much stays into place. There is a lip right here on the collar so that it doesn't fall down or whatnot, so it's not, you know, pretty standard, or it is pretty standard, I mean. But if you look right here, this is the depth rod system, and it is a pretty standard depth rod. It's got that hexagonal shape, right? But it's got an interesting handle rod lock system, right? So as most depth rod systems that you see on most tools, they're either like a push button or like a twist lock. This one is really more like a lever. It's kind of like a push, but more like a lever. So instead of like a Bosch tool you have to press in, this is you just press down on the lever and it engages or disengages that lock place, right? So it's pretty standard depth rod. It does come with this, you know, metallized depth rod. It's not plastic, so you're going to be pretty good there. Moving around to this left side of the drill, let's go ahead and talk about some stuff that may be obvious. So if you look at this side, you're going to be thinking, huh, there's something wrong with the camera angle or whatnot, but actually there isn't, because this selector knob is actually facing pretty much at a downwards angle, right? So if I hold this drill like this, you can see it's not perfectly in line with this plane right here, but it's designed like this one on purpose, I'm assuming. But on this selector knob, you have obviously rotary hammer, right? Then you have just drilling mode, then you have hammer mode. Right here is vario lock, just in case you wanted to twist it, right? And this red button does exactly what you imagine in most tools. It does exactly what it does, right? So before you turn it, you press down on this red button, and then you can turn it to exactly where you want it, and that's how that works. But I did find it was interesting that, you know, they did position it at that odd angle and not just like straight here. Maybe it's to give it more compact space, maybe it's just the way the gearbox is designed, who knows, but just wanted to point that out, okay? Otherwise on here, it's gonna say Milwaukee Brushless. This is where the fan for the motor kind of spins around, puts air out of here, right? So there's not too much other stuff going in here, but if you wanna check out what this was, it's AVS. Milwaukee calls it Anti-Vibration System. And what that really means is it's got this little shock thing here, right? So it helps absorb some of the shocking when you're, you know, the impact energy that's fed back into the tool to reduce the load on the user, but that's where that works. That's what AVS is. And if you look right here, there is a trigger, okay? It's a one finger trigger, as you would imagine, and it is variable speed. So check this out, here we go. So it does ramp up pretty quickly. There's no real like soft start, mainly because it's variable speed, but you know, that's what you get. But don't get me wrong, it's not a two-finger trigger, okay? So the other thing going on here is a standard forward reverse switch. This is pretty standard as in all tools. Works exactly the same way. Go from this side to this side, right? Push that way, going forward. Go this way, it's reversed, just as this arrow right here points out, okay? This right here, black stuff is rubber overmolded, pretty standard Milwaukee grip stuff, nothing too fancy going on there. Otherwise on this side, nothing happening, okay? Back side, pretty much nothing happening. If you go around to this other side of the tool, pretty much nothing happening, right? As you could imagine with this tool, or maybe you can't imagine, but in some tools, you know, they have like a little loop back here or somewhere around here that can help you like attach something for a fall rest type system. This one doesn't have that. So in case you need to do that, you could just hook it up, I guess, tie it to the back end of the handle here, because they don't even have the holes to do a what do you call it, like a belt hook, right? So, or any other type of system that you want to attach. So that's pretty much something you're going to have to deal with right there. If you look around to the front of the tool, there is an LED light right here that does come on, as you can see right here. Watch, it comes on and stays on. And I would say, you know, if you're in a really dark area, it's definitely better than nothing. But being so far back here, right, all the way back here, and then if you have a bit that's maybe even right here, you're not really going to be getting too much, right? But it is better than nothing. So that's what you really get with the tool. Does it really stand up to the performance? Let's go find out. All right, hope y'all caught those numbers. Let's go take a recap, all right? So we ran this D-handle Milwaukee M18 SDS hammer drill with a fully charged 8 amp hour high output XC battery. And on the first run, it took 20.53 seconds, second run 16.77 seconds, and the third run put 18.40 seconds. Taking an average of 3 runs comes in at 18.57 seconds, all right? This obviously is an SDS-plus hammer drill, and the impact force is 1.95, right? The weight of the tool only is 5.3 pounds, and it has some basic safety features, okay? So, where does that put this tool on the leaderboard, right? So with a total performance score of 18.57, it puts the hammer drill currently in 5th place, right behind the Bosch GBH 18V-2060, but in front of the Flex FX 1551A, which is the drop motor style, right? So if you go take a look at the leaderboard, we're really just talking about splitting hairs at this point, right? The Bosch is 18.25, the Flex is 18.71, right? And you know, if you look at the 3 runs, or the, you know, the spread of the 3 runs, this one had a pretty widespread, right? It had a high of like 20.5, right, on first run, and then on the second one went to 16.77, but on the third run it went to about 18.4, right? And as you saw in almost all the videos we've tested so far, for some reason every single time the first run of the tool is always probably the slowest out of the 3 runs. And as I mentioned before, we don't know really why that is. Maybe because the tool is absolutely cold and it has time to warm up or whatnot. Who knows what the deal is? But the thing that we did is that we always take the first 3 runs, no matter how many runs that we do, to kind of come up with that. Because, you know, who knows? You may be only drilling 1 or 2 holes, or maybe you're drilling a lot. In case you're drilling a lot, then, you know, obviously the first run doesn't really matter for you. But, you know, we're just taking the average of 3 runs to keep the data normalized as much as possible, okay? So if you take the other runs, or if you want to assume that we did other runs, they're probably going to fall somewhere between run 2 and run 3, which is 16 to 18, right? So if you don't care about the first one, you want to throw it out, you can rearrange the data as much as you want. It'll probably have a better score or whatnot. But the way that the leaderboard is done, like I said, is the first 3 runs. So currently it is in 5th place, but like I said, we're splitting hairs at this point, all right? So let's go take a look at some of the specs more in detail. So this tool has 1.95 foot-pounds of impact energy, whereas the tool right above it and below it, the Bosch has 1.9 foot-pounds, and the Flex also has 1.9 foot-pounds. The Bosch had 4350 BPM, and the Flex also had 4350 BPM, whereas this tool had 4580 BPM. Right, the RPMs on this one is obviously higher for in case you're doing stuff like drilling only and you don't need hammer action. You'll probably get better performance from this tool. We're just imagining, right? But the work done per minute, the way we calculate that is the impact force times beat per minute, which is pretty much, you know, impact force and the beat multiplied together. And this one has a higher number than both of those combined. Okay, so if you want to try to figure out why did the numbers come out the way they did and the ranking come out the way they did, mainly because all of these numbers are usually things like BPM, RPM, and stuff like that are usually done with no load RPM, right, and things like that. So under load, things obviously change, which is why we always test the tools in action to figure out how they perform. What can we say about this tool, right? So obviously Milwaukee's been making tools for a long time. They have been making tools for a long time. They'll probably be continuously making more tools, right? So they have other models of this. They have a D-handle style. They have a few, I don't know if they have a few model of the D-handle style, but they have few of drop motor styles too, right? So we'll go have to check those and see how they stand up. But as for this tool, would we go out and buy it again? I'm going to say most likely probably not, even though it does rank well, mainly because it's roughly about $200 for the tool only, right? And other tools you could probably get sometimes between, you know, say with the kit for somewhere around 200 bucks, right? So if you're in the M18 lineup and you're looking for a D-handle style, could you go out and buy this tool and be fine? Sure, you can go and do that, right? But you're really gonna have to figure out what works for you. And like I tell you in almost all the videos, don't look at just the numbers, because that's just only telling you the only thing about performance. You have to take into account everything else, your tool lineup, your use case, and all that fun stuff. But in case you wanted to know about performance, there you go, is your answer, right? So hopefully it's helped you guys out. If you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great day, get back to work, and we'll see you guys next time.